Amy! Oh my god. Got to add the cinnamon now. Oh, that's a bigger spot here. Oh, so wet. Focused here. It was nice when I first started filming because there was nobody around, but I'm starting to get a little tucked in here. So the light is not very good because of this boat. You saw me grind this chunk over here. Yesterday I got into this section here, which was a pretty scratched up bit, and as you can see I got all of the gouges out. This gouge right here, and you can see it's up here. When I started grinding this away, it was discolored. You can see this little white bit right here. This is fractured glass. I started grinding that down and I quickly realized that this is a bulkhead. Behind here is the engine room bulkhead. And my guess is, because there was a lot of action right here, that when that other boat pounded against the side of Inconceivable, this probably flexed a lot, the glass got crushed, it got bent, and it's structurally unsound. Last night when I saw this was the first moment I realized that the insurance company saying your boat is not seaworthy, they were right. There's no way I would go out on the ocean with this boat. You know, I knew that. That's why I wasn't going to just patch this and say, hey, done. I wanted to grind down these sections and see what's going on. You can see nowhere else does that exist except for right here. I went down a couple layers over here. This is 2 layers in. From what I can see, they've got a layer of chop strand and then a layer of woven and then another layer of chop strand and then a final layer of woven. And I went through all those layers, and as I was progressing through those layers on this section, I kept getting more and more concerned. I was hoping it wouldn't be what it is, but it's not that big of a deal. This is topsides, we're still above the water line, and the other side of this is accessible. There's a bulkhead there now. I'm going to have to cut away that bulkhead and grind it from the other side and do a 2-sided patch, which is, the right thing to do in a situation like this. Most of this I'm not going to have to do that. It's going to be surface patching, essentially. Anywhere I see through hole damage, I'm going to grind it away and we're going to patch it. And doing it big like this is what you have to do too. You have to spread that patch out so that you get adhesion. I'm using polyester. This is polyester resin. The original hull was made from polyester. I'm using polyester. You can prime the polyester with styrene. That kind of activates the plastic. It activates the original resin. So when you apply the new resin, you have better adhesion. It's not just a mechanical bond. There's a chemical bond. It's not as good as the original, unfortunately. But when you spread it out over this amount of area, you're doing the job. I think I mentioned it before. I'm not going to get into the details of how to do this. First of all, I'm not an expert. I've done fiberglass patching before on smaller boats. You know, it's the basics are what they are. But if you're interested, don't use my video as a how-to. I'm just showing you guys what I'm doing. There's a wonderful boat restoration and repair channel called Boatworks Today. This guy Andy in northern Wisconsin, in Ashland, Wisconsin, on Lake Superior. Andy has a fantastic channel. He covers fiberglass work, he covers paint, wood, finishing, he does everything. He runs his own boat repair shop. It's what he does. He's a professional. Go to Andy, go to Boatworks Today, check out that channel. It's great, and Andy is a wonderful person. He's real, and you'll like it. It's not the only source. I'll list some books that I have been referencing. And there's other channels, there's websites, there's a lot of information out there. I'm not gonna get into it. What I am gonna show you is my task, and in this instance, I've got to fix a hole in my boat. There's literally a hole here now. I can actually pop out. There is the inside of my boat. That's not a mistake. You can still see there's broken glass. This lighter area around the outside here, that's all fractured glass fibers. And it looks like it extends probably up to about here, my guess is, because once you get up here, it's reinforced by the deck. There's no deck to hull damage that I can see from the inside. It's unpainted, it's ungel coated, it's visible, there's no damage up there. Also, the scratches up here, these are just little impact. You know, this was where the major damage was, the huge gouges that went up and down this area. I'm going to grind that away, and look, I'm just saying my prediction is I have to grind this out. That'll be the through hole in this section. Well, I don't want a hole in my boat. This is not in any way, shape, or form a deal breaker. Easily patched. People have fixed worse. Oh, what's that channel? I forget what the name of the channel is. This wonderful sailing channel. This guy Aladino took a boat that had fallen off of a travel lift, and the transom literally popped off the back of the boat. He repaired that boat, and it's amazing. It's beautiful. They were sailing around. Last time I watched the channel, they're sailing around the Mediterranean. Incredible. Anyway, back to my boat. Long story short, I'm going to have to patch this from the inside. I may not do it right away. I may patch this side first and then go to the other side. The advantage of using the polyester is, as you're doing the layup, it doesn't cure. I'm using laminating resin, so it doesn't fully cure on the surface. The surface exposed to air. So when I'm done doing the exterior here, this inside area is going to remain uncured, and basically that'll stay tacky indefinitely. And then when I do patch the inside, you're going to get that chemical bond. Wow, look at that crack. Holy moly. There. Little hole in Inconceivable. It's okay, baby. I'm going to fix you up. Yeah. That's good. So where the bulkhead meets the hull, there's a fiberglass reinforcing, and that's what I'm seeing. That's encouraging. That's coming out anyway. I'm moving that bulkhead. I'm still going to have like a knee here to reinforce the hull deck at this point, because that's in the plans. There's a lot of strain here just because you've got the winch there, sails. There's, you know, all these different forces that are at play. And I don't want to play with the structure of the boat. It's beyond my expertise. So yeah, so that's encouraging actually, that the discoloration is really just this reinforcement, which means I probably didn't have to grind this far in. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a lot of grinding here just to taper this a little bit better, because you want it to be, you know, as even a taper as possible. Anyway, so I'm gonna keep grinding this way. Yeah, baby. Luke, do you want to go sailing? this is interesting. This is cool. You can see this subtle discoloration. It's actually 5 layers. You've got chop strand, and then you can see the ends of the woven, and then chop strand here, woven, chop strand, woven. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 layers on this boat. So I just think that's neat. You can see the different layers of glass. See the gold? There's a little bit right here. You can see a little bit of that gold. Oh, man, this poor boat. Oh, it breaks my heart that this boat sat there all alone getting smashed up. I have truly anthropomorphized my boat. Ah, so sad. Oh, look at that. There's a hole in my boat. Yeah, cool. Okay, back to it. Shut up, Hans. Okay. Yeah. I'm a child of the 80s. No glass broken through there. That's what I wanted to see. And it's not broken here. Cool. So I'm gonna switch to glass mode. Maybe clean up a little, because that grinder, the reason I hesitated to use the grinder was it's messy. Don't mess around with glass. If you're doing these repairs, even a small repair, wear some PPE, you know, obviously eye protection, but equally important, a respirator, because these glass fibers are extremely toxic. The little microscopic daggers that go in and destroy your lungs. So do not mess around. All right, everything's covered in glass now. So, alternating layers, right? I'm gonna have to get the fiberglass out that I got. I mean, I forgot what I ordered. Yeah, very nice job of packaging, and that's the chop strand. Yeah. Sweet. Oh, this is the... Oh, right. I got the 1708. Watch the fiberglass repair videos on Boatworks today, because he's in love with this material called 1708, and it's pretty cool. It's chop strand that's stitched to woven glass. It's kind of like a composite, and it's super strong. Sweet. That's super sweet. Clean up. Waxer. I got a bunch of Total Boat stuff. This is all through Jamestown distributors. It comes highly recommended. It's warm. All right, first patch is done. It got a little ugly. I need to be careful about grinding out an even taper, because you know, when I concentrated on each of those scratches when I was grinding it out, I ended up with a surface that was kind of like, ugh. This is high, that was really low, it's high over here, it was a little dip here. I didn't expect it to be perfect. It's my first patch, but it's on there. This polyester resin sets up really fast. It's warm too, so just like with epoxy, polyester resin is exothermic, so as it cures, it lets out heat. I'm watching it to make sure it doesn't get too hot. It's warm. It's not hot. It's just warm. It's not even a half inch. It's probably like 3/8 of an inch. It's not gonna combust. Wow, you can see the glass fibers in there. That's pretty cool. Anyway, so the process will be let this cure fully. So it's already cooling off. I think the majority of the reaction is already complete. So I'll sand this smooth. I will throw in some structural repair putty where the low spots are. Sand that. Fairing compound. And then that gets sanded, and then just move on to the other sections. That'll do it for now. That's a good first patch. I'm pretty happy with that. Cool. Alright, I'm going to clean up and head home. It's a useful tip when you do a layup with polyester resin or epoxy. Keep the bucket, keep the little pail that you mixed in if there's a little left over, because you can always check, make sure your mix was right. If that's solid, that's solid. I learned that from Jim Luton. The light is not very good because of this boat. As soon as I put the resin on the inside, oh, blue jay. Get this down relatively smooth. Ow, fucking glass. Holes in my body.